It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview Leah Fortune, who is the Lipscomb Women's assistant soccer coach. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about your coaching experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently at Lipscomb University, coach the women's soccer team. This is going to be this year's my fourth season with the program. So really excited to be here in Nashville. It's a great city. Throughout my playing career, I wasn't set on coaching actually. Kind of just happened. I love just the environment, but it has to be the right culture. So I started at USC Upstate. I actually started coaching high school when I tore my ACL 1 year playing professionally, and had an opportunity to coach my high school. And that's where I really just fell in love with seeing the development of players, building relationships, just team culture. I'm really passionate about. So kind of just ended up here, and I love where I'm at.
Can you talk about the 2017 and 18 season at Lipscomb?
Yeah, of course. So 2017 was my first year here at Lipscomb, and the program, the head coach, Kevin O'Brien, this is his 8th season with Lipscomb. So he has really kind of set the vision and has created an incredible growth kind of trajectory for the program to kind of be where we're at now. So 2017 was the first year. On paper, you could see the dividends of winning the conference, or the regular season. So we were able to host the conference tournament, which was, it was awesome. And ever since then, the last 2 years, we've been able to go to the NCAA tournament. It's been really fun to see the growth and the continual kind of limits that the program's pushing, and setting a high standard to compete, to be a Division I program. Even though we're a mid-major, we want to compete and play the absolute best programs that we can. And our conference, we're really grateful. Our conference, every single program has continued to develop and get better and compete. So it definitely helps our success when your conference is just making you so much better.
That's so great that you've had a lot of success there. Can you talk about your experience at Upstate, South Carolina?
Yeah, so Upstate I had just played professionally, and even after Upstate, I went back and played pro in the U.S., but I had just come out from playing overseas, and I was able to play with Charlotte Eagles, which is an incredible ministry program in North Carolina, in Charlotte. And Abby Minahan was the coach, and really she was just an incredible mentor for me, and just helped me learn and challenged me as a coach, as a person, as a leader. And so those years were really special, just because of the mentorship and the empowerment that I was given. And I think sometimes you have to be stretched and fail and out of your comfort zone a little bit to grow as a person. And that's exactly kind of the environment, in regards to, I was just really stretched and challenged at a young age, stepping into a program. So Abby Minahan, I attribute a lot of my growth as a person and as a coach to her in those years.
Can you talk about your experience at Brizillian Women's International?
Yeah. So when I was 16, I was given an opportunity to go play overseas. And I was born in Brazil, so I was born in São Paulo. My grandparents still live in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. So every year we would go back. My dad was raised in the collegiate Amazon, so I have a lot of history in Brazil. And um, long story short, I was invited to a U20, kind of the youth team, national team camp. And so I went, and I guess the rest is history. I ended up playing for Brazil for the youth team, the U20 team, in 2 World Cups, and then played on the full team after that following year. I was invited to a camp and started playing in friendlies, and then next thing you know, I was playing in Olympic qualifiers with the full national team. So yeah, Brazil's an incredible soccer culture, and it was definitely a challenge. But it also, it's a part of my history and my family, and it was an awesome opportunity to be able to live overseas, learn the language, have that culture influence me in so many ways.
When you speak about like your family was born there, how was it like representing your family when you were playing for Brazil?
Yeah, so although I was born there, I was raised in the United States a lot, and we would travel back to visit my grandparents. So kind of felt like I was in both cultures most of my childhood. So it was it was unique. I was the only international on the national team at that time. In regards to, I would fly from the States, and obviously lived in Chicago at the time. So it was definitely exciting to kind of step into that soccer culture. I mean, Brazil's a powerhouse when it comes to just being able to watch soccer and live in that culture, and you just kind of sleep and breathe soccer over there in Brazil. So it was an awesome experience.
Can you talk about your college playing career at Texas?
Yeah. So I had a very unconventional collegiate kind of experience. Obviously, when I was in high school, I started going to Brazil, so I was able to. I mean, I committed to Texas, which always is a part of. I feel like now being a college coach, there's something so special about those years and the development that you have, and that opportunity was great, just being able to go to Texas and play there. Unfortunately, I was injured when I got there, and I also left to go play for Brazil again. So I was in and out quite a bit those 2 years I was at Texas, just playing with the national team and doing rehab. And it was very unconventional. I think one spring I was doing online classes, but I was in Brazil the entire time. So that was a very unique experience. Obviously, playing for a national team kind of took precedent at that time. And then afterwards, I was able to go back to, I obviously wanted to finish my education and get a degree, and that's really important in my family. And just having those opportunities in the States to play at university. So I went back to Lee University, which was NAIA at the time, and had a great experience there too. I was again traveling in and out, but just the friendships and the environment there was also really healthy and just a part of my story. It's very unique, but I'm grateful for all the experiences that I had.
When it comes to your coaching career, what did you learn from when you played in college and the recruitment process?
Yeah, that's a good question. Recruiting, obviously, when I was a player, was very unique. Just being, playing overseas a lot, and already competing, for your country, which kind of took priority. But I feel like I definitely had a lot of opportunities, and um, my evaluation and how I had to make decisions was very unique. However, now recruiting, I feel like I can really speak to team culture to, if you want to grow as a player and play professionally, I feel like I have that experience and that background to help players achieve those goals and to set those goals and to go after them and not be afraid of them. Um, but I also value culture and environment, and it's easy to take playing in college as a job, and that's the last thing you want. Soccer should be fun, and it's a great season of life to grow as a player, but also as a person. And I love being at Lipscomb because I really can, college is what you make it, and you can choose to find groups and what's important to you anywhere you go. But to have it integrated, obviously Lipscomb is a faith-based program. And so to be able to, my faith is really important to me, and to be able to help players grow in that way too, and to value coaching can be very transactional, it's just a part of my story and my life and how I was influenced, where coaching should be transformational, and you should be the best player you can be because your coach believes in you, and you're playing with confidence, not out of fear, but you feel supported, you feel loved, you feel cared for, and someone believes in you to continue to grow and to develop, whether or not you play professionally after your collegiate career. So, I get really excited about recruiting calls and talking to different players and what their hopes and dreams are, and just seeing them grow throughout their 4 years in college.
That's very inspirational. Can you talk about your time for the Orlando Pride?
Yeah, so ended up playing in the NWSL the first year that the Orlando Pride joined, and that was a great experience. Developed some really incredible friendships there. I had family in Orlando at the time, so although I had kind of started very unconventionally, obviously going to Brazil helped me as just as a coach to really be able to relate and to think through the lens and as a player and a coach. But yeah, Orlando was a really fun time to have family in town. So
Can you talk about playing for the Charlotte Lady Eagles, the North Carolina team?
yeah, so the Charlotte Eagles it's a summer semi-pro team, but really the emphasis is obviously competing. Everyone that goes there they are athletes that want to compete, want to win, usually from several different conferences, college conferences and programs. But it's a ministry, and so you really get to develop in regards to your faith and why do you play, and what's important to you, and what are your values. And the Charlotte Eagles, I was able to play there a few years. Or a few summers, and was able to go on a missions trip to Africa and be able to teach. We went to Ruiru and be able to teach locals how to set up training sessions and how to it's called sports ministry training, but basically soccer is it's a training ground of life, and you've got to learn who you are, and that your identity isn't in your sport. Your sport is a part of who you are. It's not who you are. And so Charlotte was just an incredible place to learn culture and honestly team culture, relationships, friendships, and yeah, I'm really thankful for the Charlotte Eagles.
During your professional playing career, did you play against any players, like, for example, Alex Morgan, who played also with the Orlando Pride?
Yeah, so obviously Alex was on the team when I played there. Also, Monica Hickman Alves was also on the Pride, and also was able to play with her in Brazil. So that was fun to have play on two different teams with her, and she's a dear friend. But yeah, throughout my college career, I was able to play with a lot of. Obviously, played with Marta for a long time. She's won player of the year multiple times, but I was able to play alongside some really incredible players, and they also have become friends, and they're good people, and it's been I've enjoyed the level and the competitiveness and the passion from all of my teammates and what they've taught me. So yeah, that's been great.
Since you played with like Alex Morgan and other players like that, how has that shaped you into now coaching to tell like players like, for example, that you can make it like Alex Morgan, like Hayden?
Yeah, for sure. So coaching now, let me see here. So I think it's important for everybody to realize, for every player to realize what they bring to the game. And obviously, um, what makes Alex Morgan great makes someone else great too. And to be the best version of yourself is so important. And to recognize that in a team sport, it takes the whole team. And so how can you be the best version of yourself and compete to make the team better, and to also achieve your highest goals and ambitions, whether that's playing in college or it's playing pro or it's playing for a national team. I think the best thing for players to realize is what makes them special, and how do they serve the team, how do they contribute to the team's growth and the team's success, and enjoy playing, enjoy the moments on the field and the moments off the field. When you spend a lot of time together, you're on the bus, you're living together, you're at practice every day. So most of what people don't see is everything that happens behind the scenes. And I feel like that is really what makes players develop and grow, because you've got to be mentally strong, you've got to emotionally, spiritually, physically. There's so many aspects to being an elite top level player. And I think for everyone to just continue to grow, I think having coaches that really believe in you and push you and empower you is incredibly important too. So
That's very inspirational. What advice would you give upcoming future coaches looking to get into college coaching?
what advice would I give coaches? I think college is like the best. It's at high school. Coaching high school was so much fun, and coaching college is definitely where I'm passionate about. Coaching, because there's so many challenges with the team changing every year, and having a player come in as a freshman and then seeing the player and the person they become when they leave, being a part of the program legacy and your university. And I would say to continue to to listen to your players and to help them develop, and to instill confidence in them throughout their career, and support them in life. I think coaching is, you're only in college coaching if you're competitive and you want to win, and you want to see that success in regards to hardware. But man, the players, who they are as people, it is so rewarding when you come alongside them in life too and help them grow as people. I learn from the girls I coach every day, and who they are and what they bring and what makes them special. I feel like that's what makes college coaching so much fun, is you get to see them in the classroom succeed, and whatever activities they choose to get involved in on campus, but you get to see them as a person. And soccer's a part of their life, and it's a big part, and we want to win and we want to compete and push the limits on the field. But it's so rewarding to see them continue to find out what they're passionate about, whether their career ends when they graduate or if they continue to play. So that's what makes college special for me, and I would feel like you never want to lose sight of that when you're stepping into college coaching.
What advice would you give upcoming women's soccer players looking to get onto the professional level, whether it is like, for example, the Orlando Pride or the US team?
Yeah, so whether players want to play overseas, I think there's a large market to play overseas, and I think that is such a good experience to learn from players in a different culture, to be challenged in other ways. So I think playing overseas is I would encourage a lot of college athletes to go to play overseas. Or if they have the opportunity to play in the NWSL or in a semi-pro league, I think it is a time in your life that if you're hesitant, I would say do it, because you learn a lot about who you are as a person. And advice on the field, I would say, to let's see here, to play professionally, I would say to put in you gotta put in the extra work, and you've gotta have community around you that believes in you. It's going to hold you accountable, that's going to push you, that you won't be defined by when one coach doesn't believe in you. You've got to continue to push on. If that's your goal and that's your dream, I think you have to have people around you that believe in you, and you've got to do the work. You got to put in the work, and just always have a growth mindset to continue to grow, and learn from every coach, every teammate, even fans. You can learn from everybody around you, and I think I would just have that mindset.
Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
Oh no, I don't have a big social media platform. You can follow Lipscomb Women Soccer. We've got a incredible we stay up to date, and one of our coaches does an incredible job managing that, and it's fun to see what the girls come up with and they're doing and how hard they're working. And I would say you should follow Lipscomb Women Soccer, because you're gonna enjoy that way more than trying to find me.
Thank you again, Leah, for your
Of
interview,
course.
and best of luck in your future with Lipscomb.
Thanks, Brandon. Have a good day.
You too. You can find
Bye.
Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Leah.
You're welcome.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.